Every day, more and more news comes out that's pro-crypto. Yet, if you've been paying attention the last week or so, or last couple of weeks, it's been real slow, and we've had lots of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You see the fear and greed index, according to CoinMarketCap, is around 48. Neutral, but a far cry from where we were. If you look at this, a far cry from where we were just a couple weeks ago, and certainly back here in, March of last year. So we're approaching a year from when we had an all-time high, I guess, in this cycle for fear and greed. So what is all this about? So I will tell you one thing that I've known from being in this for 4 or 5 years now in the crypto world, is that there's a lot of manipulation going on. Why would that be? Why would there be lots of manipulation? Well, they know that this is, people out there, everybody knows that the crypto world is a bit, a lot of the crypto investors are a bit skittish because they're all fearful of what has happened in the past. Huge runoffs and huge rundowns. And so when you look at the market right now, and when it comes down for a little bit, a lot of people get skittish and they sell. And there's a lot of news out there. There's a lot of news outlets that don't want to see, there's a lot of media, there's a lot of government, there's a lot of things that don't want to see crypto be successful, I believe. And because it chips away at certain long-standing traditional means of finance, payments, and things like that, and it hurts other people's businesses, quite frankly, and it hurts the government's power to have complete power over the people through their currency. So my point here is this cycle any different? Is Bitcoin going to zero? I do not believe it is. Could it? Yes, absolutely. Do your own research. This is absolutely not financial advice, and all of this is just my opinion. But I will tell you that there is so much negativity out there. If you search the internet, it's like, huge pullback in cryptos when we had a 7% pullback. Because in the stock market, a 7% would be a crash. I mean, that would be monumental. 1 or 2% moves are big moves for the stock market. For crypto, that's a small move. And if you study, and I'm not going to do a lot of TA on here right now, but if you study past run-ups and past cycles, you're going to see it go up, pull back, go up, pull back, and that it consolidates, get rid of the paper hands. And so right now I see the opportunity. So right here, look at the crypto bubbles. There's a ton of cryptos that are out there. There's thousands of them, but I'm only paying attention to a small mix. Yes, my bags have probably 20 or 30 different cryptos in it. But most of where I'm trying to gain and where I see the future is in just a couple of them. And I'll get to that in a second. But, all of these might make it, or they all might not make it. So how do you differentiate? What do you do? Well, I just know the ones that I'm interested in and I like. Let's start from the top. There's Bitcoin. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin. Ethereum. I still think Ethereum's a decent architecture, for the layer 2s and whatnot. So I still think Ethereum has a run ahead of it. With all the news about XRP, you can't deny that there's a future for XRP of some kind. Bank of America just came out and said they process their transactions with XRP in the back end. That's incredible, and that's incredibly bullish news for XRP. Now, what about some of the other ones? The next tier down, I have Solana. I still think Solana is an excellent choice. A lot of transactions are still happening with Solana. And then you get to the SUI, SUI, a lot of potential. It's fast, it's inexpensive, it's a great place for potential future meme coins or transactions and all these things. So there's a lot of potential out there in the market. SUI, Solana, Cardano, still a lot of news around Cardano. But let's just look at this back again. This is a liquidation map. There's a lot of room around here for longs and shorts to be liquidated. My opinion is, I think we'll flash down, that 91.5 mark. This red level right here, this 91.5-ish, 91.4, 91.5, that level been a good floor of support for us. If we pass back below that, there's a long drop. I mean, there's a lot of different levels here. You got the 86, 87 level, then you got another 76, and then down here at 66. I don't think we're going to go that low. This is my opinion. I could be wrong. But remember, Trump is going to take office on January 20th. That's Monday, January 20th. We got about 8 days until that happens. And when that happens, you know, it's either buy the rumor, sell the news type of event, or there's going to be something released on that day because of all the meetings he's been having with all these different crypto organizations in the US about probably about the future of crypto. We don't know what's going on those meetings. He's had meetings with XRP, Michael Saylor, you know, all these different, what I would call institutional type crypto, American run things. Who knows? I don't know what's going to come out of that. I don't know if on day one he announces Bitcoin Strategic Reserve or a partnership with XRP or something different. Don't know. But I do know this next week is going to be incredibly volatile. There's going to be lots of price movements and adjustments and a lot of manipulation going on. I would be very careful how you handle it. So Bitcoin, still very, very dominant. We are not in an alt season. You know, fear and greed, we're at neutral. I think that's going to push up this week. In the last couple weeks when it was down, what did I do? I put on some small positions, and I've closed out a bunch of them because they're already in the profit. But XRP's had a surge recently. You know, so I use BTCC, and if you're going to use BTCC, make sure you read the terms of service. I do have a link, affiliate link down below to help support the channel. If you're going to do that, I'm not telling you to do that. Just make sure you know what you're getting into. This is all very, very risky. And if you're going to trade with leverage, make sure you know what you're doing. But I've been using BTCC for over a year now. I've used some other ones here and there, and I've come back to this one, and it's been working pretty well. I've got about 4 positions on here, as you can tell, on this account. This is my Fun Money account. And this one's up 8%, this one's up 44%, this one's up 56%, and my H bar is down 37. It really hasn't seen a run up. But when these things went down, I bought into some positions thinking that these are the ones I believe in to see what happens. Now, I don't do this with meme coins or things like that, but I use the leverage to lever money that I already have elsewhere, but to also be able to trade on a smaller volume. So I don't have to put in thousands of dollars, but there is fees and there's downside to this. The downside is that, you know, you could get liquidated. You could lose everything that you put into that trade and more, depending on if you do isolated or cross margin. Cross margin means it's across all of the funds that you have in that account. Isolated, it's isolated to that trade or that amount of margin you have on that trade. But I've been using this and it's been working all right. I am still at a profit for the year, or I'm sorry, for the last 30 days. Where's my P&L? Oh, I don't know where they put that in here. Here you go, P&L Insights. My today P&L, I had a couple trades today. My 7-day, I'm up 529. My 30-day, I'm only up $358 or 45%. These aren't in the thousands because I'm still discovering and getting better at trading and creating a system that I'm marking down, writing up so I can share it with you all. But that's all I pretty much have. So let's just do a quick recap. Is this cycle any different than the last? You know, I do believe with all the bullish things that are going on with Bitcoin, you know, states pushing for legislature to adopt Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. You know, I know Texas, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida's been talking about it, and there's a numerous bunch of others that are talking about it now. You know, the country, you know, U.S. strategic reserve of Bitcoin under Trump. You know, I know last week there's a lot of news about the United States selling 6.9 billion worth of Bitcoin. You know, that's been on the books for a while. And I know the Biden administration's just looking to prove a few points on their way out. I don't want to say they're burning the ships to make it difficult for the next group, but that seems to be what's happening. I'm sorry to bring politics into this, but it seems to be what's happening. But it's not completely unfounded. It goes right with everything we've seen from them under Choke Point 2.0, the adoption of Gary Gensler's policy, or Gary Gensler being the watchdog of their policies. It goes right along. I mean, they said they were going to be more Bitcoin friendly, and this just proves that they're not. So going on a step is that, you know, you have states doing it, countries doing it, countries like Bhutan, El Salvador, I know Switzerland, Germany, Poland. Germany, even though they kind of did a number on us last summer selling all their Bitcoin, now they're saying maybe we should have kept that Bitcoin. I don't know how to do a German accent, but you know, now they're saying maybe we should keep a strategic reserve of Bitcoin. So, they sold it last summer. If they just kept that Bitcoin, it'd probably be worth twice as much. I don't know the numbers, but definitely worth probably more. I forget when they did that exactly. I just know I was trading on a Sunday because they were selling it on Sundays. The first Sunday they were doing it, I was trading, and I took a massive loss that because it just started going pew, pew, pew. Anyway, so long story short, there's just so much going on with companies, countries, states. Everyone's looking at Bitcoin. This is the most pro-Bitcoin the world has ever been. We have congressmen, senators, we have president, vice president. We have a very pro-crypto cabinet in the U.S. In the U.S., sorry, it is the head that wags the tail. It's not the tail that wags the dog. The U.S. is they have the biggest economy in the world. And I know last week on Friday, we had a positive jobs report that was positive. So why did that negatively affect crypto? The economy is doing great, right? Well, it's that addiction to cheap money. And you've probably heard it 1,000 different times, but I'll tell you this. The problem is that if the jobs report is good, that there won't be cheap money. And cheap money helps people two ways. It helps the investor, look as a flight to quality or a flight to return. If the returns that you get in your savings account that are very much risk-free or low risk, if those go down, you're going to have to seek outside investment for higher risk return. And so the retail side, there's the investor side and there's the consumer side. The consumers like cheap money because they can buy more and it costs them less and they have more disposable money. So you have twofold there that might affect crypto moving forward. That being said, if the US adopts a strategic Bitcoin reserve, all bets are off. I mean, we could see 250, 500 this year. I think 500 is very aggressive, but not out of the picture because it would be the first domino that falls. If the U.S. says, yeah, we're doing it, every other country is going to either do it or consider it. So a lot going on. I've been a little bit absent. I was vacationing in Utah, snowboarding with the family. I've been getting my bearings straight, and I'm really excited for 2025. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, like, share, do all those things, and I'll see you next time.